This is an art attack. This is an art attack. This is Art Attack. Hello there. Hey, guess what I've discovered? How to grow a complete garden in your own bedroom with no mess, no fuss and no digging. And each plant only takes half an hour to grow. Come and have a look at this. Cut 2 big strips of cardboard out from the side of a cardboard box and then draw a vertical line that runs down the middle of both of them, like that. And then onto one of your sheets of cardboard, draw a plant or a flower in a pot. Now, just draw something that's very simple, that's big and bold, and make that vertical line run roughly down the middle of your plant, like that, but make sure it runs down the middle of your plant pot. Just draw in the lip of the plant pot in there, like that, and then down to the bottom. Now, the bottom of your plant pot should be very straight. I'm going to use a ruler for that. You don't often see me using rulers, but that does have to be perfect, like that. And then just put in a couple of spikes on my plant, which is, I'm sure you recognise by now, a cactus. And when you've done your plant, again, make it very simple, cut it out, and you'll have something that looks like that. And the idea is to place this one onto your backing card and line those 2 vertical lines up perfectly, like that. Then draw around your first plant, cut it out, and you'll have 2 plants that look like that. And then you have to mark the halfway point up that vertical line. Now, you have to do it very accurately, so you can measure it. I'm just guessing here, just to show you. And then the idea is to cut out a slot, up one to the middle and down one to the middle, that's the thickness of the card itself. And the best way of doing that is to cut out a strip of card that's very straight and then lay it onto one of your plants, going up to the middle, and draw all the way around it. Don't forget, I'm looking for a strip that's the thickness of my card. So there's one, and then going down the middle of the other one like this. Again, just holding it into place on its side so I can get the thickness of the strip, like that. And then you just cut those 2 strips out, or slots, and you have that, 2 cardboard plants with slots in them. And then you can paint them whatever colour you like, depending what flower or plant it is. Now, I'm going to use some green here. Just going to slosh it onto my cactus. And like that. And don't forget to make the whole of your plant and your pot. And when the paint is dry, you can put on some detail with black permanent marker or some other coloured paint. But do both sides of each plant, and when it's dry, you'll have something that looks like this. Look at that. 2 flat plants, both painted on either side. And then it's just a case of holding them and slotting them together. There it is. 1 slot up one and 1 down the other. And there you have it, your cardboard slot plant. And look at that, it stands up by itself. And there are loads of different plant shapes you could try. There are lots of different types of flowers, all have their own shapes and colours. And look at this, I've even done one flower down here in a vase. Look at that. And what about this? A bunch of flowers in a basket, all using the same cardboard slot principle. And you can even do it with things like this, a gnome. Try it yourself, cardboard slot plants, and before you know it, your bedroom will be covered with blooms.
Hello, it's me, the head. Those are dead simple to make. Just remember that whatever shapes you do, you must cut a slot halfway up one piece and halfway down the other piece. Otherwise, it'll end up like this. Sad, isn't it? Oh.
Well, it's only shifting that over there. What's the problem? Hey! Hey, boy! Hey! Come on, then. Yes! This could be a big heart attack.
Now that is clever. But please don't go sprinkling sand and dirt on your grass. Hey, do you want to see the one I've done? It's called sandpaper. Oh.
If you've got a picture or a photograph you want to hang on your wall, but you want to make it look a little bit different, try some jazzy mounting. Take a piece of coloured paper, any colour you like, but make it nice and bright, and place your photograph down in the bottom left-hand corner of your paper like that, so that the long edge of the photograph runs along the bottom edge of your paper. And then simply draw a line up the side of your photo, and then carefully keeping it in place, flip the photo over and continue the line. Now, you don't have to be deadly accurate, just be as neat as you can. And then it is a line across the top, like that. And what you're after is a shape like that, twice the size of the photograph. And then take another coloured piece of paper, again, a nice bright colour, this time a different colour, slip it underneath your first piece like that. Now, the fiddly bit. You've got to keep these two pieces of paper together. And the best way of doing that is to slip on a paper clip, one side, and a paper clip on the left-hand side, like that. And then hold it very tightly and snip along your lines. And again, I'm just holding it very tightly here, hoping that the two pieces of paper will stay together. And the paper clip should help me out there. There it is. And there you have two pieces of paper, same size, same shape. And then mark a point that's roughly a third of the way along this top edge from where you cut. So I guess that's about a third. Again, doesn't have to be spot on. And then draw a line that goes from that point down to your bottom right-hand corner. So it's a sort of triangle, like that. And then, being careful with this one because it's a bit fiddly, get your scissors and cut all the way up that line, like this. It goes all the way up the top, holding the two pieces of paper together. So you have something that looks like that. Now, I'm just going to put these two pieces of paper to one side. I'll come back to them in a minute. Then take a bigger piece of white paper and then lay your coloured paper on top of your white paper like that. Remove the paper clips, and you see, it's not deadly accurate, but it doesn't have to be for this. Take the paper clips off, and then it's a case of flipping the top piece of paper over like that, and just push it in the middle so that they overlap slightly, and then place your photograph back on the top, and dip these two pieces of coloured paper in the middle, so you get this sort of crazy, wonky, it's a sort of jazzy cartoon effect, isn't it? And when you're happy with the positions, just glue them into place, and there you have a jazzy mounting. Now, the reason I said don't throw these other pieces away is because you can also make a jazzy mounting with them. Again, another piece of white paper. White works very well as a backing paper for this. And just place your triangles onto your paper like that, in any position you like, together with a photograph, and then just experiment with their position, I think. That looks quite good. I'll put my photograph down there, and again, when you're happy with the position, glue them into place, and there's another jazzy mounting. And let's face it, those triangles you can put in any position you like. What about down the edge like that? Try it yourself. A real crazy effect, jazzy mounting.
Oh, that is a right useful tip for mounting your pictures to make them look even better. Choose the colours of your paper carefully and do some jazzy mounting. Hey, do you want to see mine? There it is! Jazzy mountain! Oh.
Hello, my name is Sam. I use plasticine and a margarine pot as a mould to make my plaster of Paris picture of a snail. Hello, my name is Matthew, and this is my picture of the plaster of Paris wasp. Hello, my name's Lucy, and I scraped a picture of a dragonfly into plasticine and used it for a mould for plaster of Paris. When the plaster of Paris had set, I painted it.
What a fantastic idea, using margarine tubs to create 3D plaster of Paris pictures. Now, you need an empty, clean margarine tub. The bigger you can find, the better, and I've got one with a round bottom there. And then take a clump of plasticine, big enough to fit into the palm of your hand, and roll it into a ball. And then squash it on a flat surface into a flat, circular pancake. You need to just press down on top of it, like that, so that it's about 1 centimetre thick, so that it's big enough to just fit into the bottom of your margarine tub, like that. And it has to leave a gap of at least 1 centimetre around the edge. That's very important. You'll see why in a minute. Then take the flat surface of your plasticine and draw any design you like into it. And I'll tell you what looks really good, your star sign. Now, of course, your star sign depends on what birth date you are, but if you don't know what your star sign is, or even what it looks like, why don't you look in the daily newspapers? They always have little drawings of them in there on the stars page. Now, my birthday is in October, so I'm Libra, which is the scales. So I'm just going to draw in, with a blunt pencil, a set of scales. Now, you don't have to draw a complicated picture, just a very simple picture. Comes out very effective. And don't press in too hard. You don't want to go right through the plasticine. And you could always use your finger just to press in detail like that. See the scales there, and do one that side there. Again, pressing it in with my finger. And I'll do a couple of stars there, because after all, it is a star sign. It looks a little bit messy at the moment, but you watch what happens in a minute. A couple of more stars around there, and then just place the plasticine in the bottom of your margarine tub. Now again, this is very important. You have to press the edges down with your finger so that they're very firm onto the margarine tub. This is so when you pour the plaster of Paris mixture in, you don't want it to seep underneath. And if you do squash any of your picture at this stage, you just go over it again in pencil. When you've done that there, that's nice and solid. Then take 5 tablespoons of plaster of Paris powder. Now, you can get plaster of Paris from the chemist or from an art shop, and mix it with about a mugful of water. If you can't get plaster of Paris, you can always use some moulding powder from the art shops. And if you get a packet of this, a whole packet will do, well, do loads of these, so it's good value. And then just pour your plaster of Paris mixture into your margarine tub, like that. There it goes. And then cut a length of string that's about 40 centimetres long. Lay it over your tub like that, and then press the middle of the string down so that it goes into the plaster of Paris about 1 centimetre. And just hold it in there like that, and then leave it to set. And look, do me a favour, if you've got any plaster of Paris mixture left over, don't pour it down the drains, because when it sets, it'll block them up. Just pour it into a plastic bag, and when it sets, put it in the bin. Now, it'll take about half an hour for your plaster of Paris to set, and when it's set, it's gone rock solid like this, and the string is firmly stuck in there. And then just crack the outside of your margarine tub and press out. Look at that, you've got a 3D plaster of Paris. It's like a sculpture at the moment, isn't it? Now, the idea is to paint it, and you can use acrylic paint or poster paint, but it's best to just slosh on a layer of paint first to seal in the plaster of Paris. And look, I'm just going to slosh on this blue to show you. Actually, blue works very well because the star sign, the midnight blue, and just slop it on. You can be very neat about it. I'm just sloshing it on there to show you. And when it's covered, you'll have something that looks like that. Look at that. And now the good bit. Pick out the detail using a gold or a silver pen. Look at this, I'm just going down all the raised bits, all these 3D bits. You get this great effect here. And if you go around the outside, around there, it creates a frame. And again, around there, you can do the whole lot, do it very neatly. It takes a bit of time to do. When it's finished, you'll have something that looks like that. Look at that. And what I've done is I've even tied the string on the back so I can hang it up, snipped off the excess bits, and that's it. That is my star sign, Libra. And there are 12 star signs to choose from. Find out which is yours. Now, it could be one of these. It could be Cancer, the crab. Or it could even be Pisces, the fish. But if you can't find your star sign, why not design your own? Look at that, that star sign, the sun and the moon. Try yourself a 3D plaster of Paris picture, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra!